for me, it was less about being a programmer and more about how do I make things move on the screen. And the day at which I started enjoying that more than writing English was probably 8 or 9 years after I first started trying to become a programmer. There were so many false starts on, I'm going to save up money from my paper route, or like my mom's paper route, and then I'm going to buy this book on C++ programming, and I'm 12 years old, and none of this makes any sense, so I'm going to put that aside and go play soccer. Oh, now I'm going to try this new book on Perl, and there's all these different symbols. I don't know what that means. I'm going to put that down and go play basketball now. And then eventually I ended up in this wonderful language called PHP, an open source programming language. And for me, that really stuck. It was like probably my 4th or 5th time trying to be a real programmer, and it just stuck.
What was different that time around?
The community, really. I think everyone sort of learns in their own way. Some people work really well in a lecture setting. Some people work really well listening to a Q&A. Some people work really well hands-on. And PHP had the sweet spot of there was a book written by the main guy, so like, there was not a lot of errors in it. Rasmus wrote the book. I think he lives around here somewhere. And then there was a really vibrant community online where I could ask specific questions about, I'm trying this thing, it's not working, and I would get an answer from someone. And the online community, the strangers on the internet, which I was growing up taught to fear, they ended up really helping me find a sense of a group, people trying to get the same thing, and they taught me so much. I never made any sense, right? Again, I'm used to strangers on the internet either, trying to rob you, steal your identity, or say mean things because they just destroyed you in a game of StarCraft or Quake or whatever. But here was an online community which is also somewhat negative at times, but they were trying to help share knowledge and build each other up and teach me things. And so I guess I enrolled in college to go I studied English. At the time, I knew I didn't want to do Flash. People remember Flash, of course. And I knew I didn't want to do Java programming. And I couldn't go to school for PHP in the options that I had, so I went for English.
So you picked English.
I picked English. I figured whatever I did in life, I'd have to speak, read, write English. Also, I've always been really into it. I really wanted to learn more about the language. I think being someone that grew up native speaker, I didn't know anything about grammar, anything like that. So I thought it'd be a good skill to have. And then I found myself not going to school and skipping class, and instead of doing drugs or whatever, I was programming. So my parents were equally mad at me. I didn't get a pass, but at least I'm not doing drugs. They'd be like, I don't care, you're failing everything. You might as well do drugs, at least you're having a good time. Instead, you're just sitting on your computer